So hello from Boston Logan International Airport on a Sunday evening. I'm here to travel back to London Heathrow. I'm on a British Airways Airbus A380, should be arriving very soon.
Traveling the world on planes, trains, trams, and more. Join Mark Hopwood as he shows you some of the great journeys he's made. Let's travel to a whole variety of destinations. Remember to drop your comment below, like and subscribe, turn on the notification button, and never miss a video.
The aircraft behind me in this shot is a Lufthansa A340, one of the other aircraft that you can still fly across the Atlantic with 4 engines. That's on the Lufthansa flight to Frankfurt. I quite fancy giving that a go. Maybe a video in the next couple of years before the Airbus A340 disappears. Anyway, I mustn't get distracted. Let's concentrate on the task in hand. So British Airways Airbus A380, the aircraft is just approaching the Boston area. It's about 20 minutes away. Come to the airport, checked in, gone through security. That was all pretty easy. I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 minutes wait to get through business class security here at Boston Logan. Terminal E, which is the international departures terminal. Everyone has to arrive internationally at E. Some flights do leave from other terminals internationally, but most of your big name carriers, Air France, Virgin, Lufthansa, British Airways, Emirates, Qatar, Japan Airlines, Scandinavian, Iberia, they're all here in Terminal E. So it's quite an interesting set of departures. There's only about 13 gates here, so the aircraft rotate round. If they're not leaving straight away, they get parked out in a remote stand and brought back. So quite good facilities by US standards here at Boston. Very short flight back to London, so there won't be a great deal to report on, and of course the lights are out. It's a night flight. Most people falling asleep fairly quickly, I'm sure. We'll see how that goes. Echo Alpha is the aircraft heading back. It was the first Airbus A380 ever delivered. My first encounter with it actually was on one of the warm-up flights to Frankfurt that took place in 2013 when the aircraft were introduced. So I have flown on it since. So I've not managed to get a new Airbus A380 on the British Airways fleet for a while. Behind me here in Terminal E, you can see the British Airways lounge and some quite good views actually behind me out over the bay here at Boston, departing aircraft taxiing out to the runway. Well, I'm going to relax a little bit here at the airport. I've arrived in plenty of time. Hopefully watch the inbound aircraft arrive. I look forward to giving you an update once I'm on board the plane. So let's head off into the British Airways lounge. There's 2 lounges for One World customers here in Terminal E. The BA lounge, which is available, of course, to anyone with One World, plus Iberia, Japan Airlines customers. But those One World customers with Cathay, Qatar and Royal Air Maroc are expected to use the Air France lounge. I think this is quite a nice lounge. You can see some nice views of the airport, a buffet with a variety of hot and cold food. Of course, many people eating a meal in the evening so that they don't have to eat on the plane and they can get straight to sleep. And the menu's designed to support this, a good choice of food, and it's served well. And I think British Airways have done a pretty credible job here at Boston, and I'd certainly recommend this lounge. I didn't try the Air France facility. I have to be honest, I didn't actually know you could use it until I did a bit of research prior to recording this video. But the food is plentiful, and there's also a good selection of drinks as well, and you can choose a variety of drinks to support your meal. Of course, there's also some salads, and the buffet was kept well stocked, particularly the salad bar, and it was fresh and it didn't look like it had been hanging around for too long. That's the first class dining. If you're flying in first class, you can't use it as a gold card holder, but if you're flying British Airways first class, you can use that dining facility. And there's a good mix actually on the buffet. The first class dining is a la carte, and you take a seat and choose from the menu. There's the drinks, wine,
some spirits, quite a lot of soft drinks, and some fresh juices. So I headed out of the lounge, and here is the British Airways Airbus A380 in the distance, just coming into land at Boston Logan Airport. It was running, I think, just slightly late, but it was nice to get a view, albeit not a great view, but then the aircraft came round the corner and taxied into view, and I was able to follow its progress around the side of Terminal E at Boston Logan as it made its way onto the gate. Of course, the A380 is stating the obvious, a very large aircraft, so it does take a while for everyone to disembark. It also takes quite a while for them to get all the luggage off, to clear the old catering, to clean the aircraft, and to prepare it for its departure. British Airways use its A380 aircraft on a variety of routes, and it varies them by season. Boston, when I flew in the summer of 2023, was a steady sort of rock hard A380 destination, but the A380 has subsequently disappeared during the winter, with it re-emerging on some of the summer schedules. Miami is normally pretty steady for an A380. Los Angeles has just regained the type, and San Francisco has retained it. But you can also find the type operating to Washington and Chicago and Dallas at various times as well. And of course, with some of the challenges the British Airways faces in the Asian market now, the A380 is not being used so much on routes like Singapore or Hong Kong, certainly not at this stage. The other thing that was a little bit disappointing as the A380 lined up was that there was a defect on some of the gate equipment, and as you can see here, the aircraft was only actually positioned with one jetty, whereas many airports normally you'd have three jetties, two on the lower deck and one on the upper deck, and that certainly didn't help the disembarkation process, didn't help with boarding. So let's have a look at this flight, the BA212 from Boston across to London Heathrow. Relatively short flight across the North Atlantic, the prevailing jet stream winds helping that just over 5.5 hours on this Airbus A380 Golf X-Ray Lima Echo Alpha. Two decks, of course, you can see there the seat map. First Class Club World Economy on the lower deck, and then Club World World Traveller Plus and the World Traveller Economy cabin up the top. That's my seats ringed on the top deck, 52 and 53, four of us travelling. Quite nice to have those seats because you get access to the window without having to trample over anyone. And soon it was time to board the aircraft. We headed down to that single jetty. We were able, as part of Group 1, to get on relatively quickly. You can see a short queue, but then we joined the aircraft and headed up the stairs as the jetty wasn't connected to that deck.
Hi there.
Initial cruising altitude of 37,000 feet. In British Airways, your safety is our primary consideration. With that in mind, I'd ask you please to pay particular attention to the safety video that we will be showing you. Once we're on our way, we do anticipate turning off the seatbelt sign anytime you are seated in the cabin. I would appreciate it if you keep seatbelts loosely fastened. This is for your comfort as well as your safety. At the risk of stating the obvious, it is going to turn into a night flight, therefore once we're on our way, it's not our intention to disturb you. But any of you who would like to keep abreast of our flight progress, there is a channel as part of the in-flight entertainment system, the moving map display. The information on that is highly accurate. Having said that, just before I descend into London, I will come back to you with a landing estimate and the latest weather we can expect there. Having said all that, it is now very much my hope that you'll be able to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you.
And before we see the takeoff roll from Boston Logan, let's just have a quick look at that routing, heading out from Boston in a northeasterly direction, out over Maine, Canada, and Newfoundland, having passed over Nova Scotia, straight across the North Atlantic, making land over the very southern tip of Ireland, and then over West Wales, South Wales, coming in over the Bristol area, Wiltshire, towards London, over southwest London, turning to approach runway 27 left at London Heathrow after an approach across central London, and the taxi into Terminal 5 will await us. So off we go. As we settle down into the cruise above Canadian water on the North Atlantic, time to have a quick look at the menu. Dinner was served. I had a little bit to eat in the lounge, not a lot. I didn't take a starter, but I enjoyed having a look at the menu. And you can see beef, tenderloin, sea bass, or an Indian paneer, variety of desserts. Breakfast was fairly simple. They were offering a panini of one variety or another, and usual British Airways bar on offer. So my food arrived, and it was a one plate service as they were getting ready for the evening. So you can see some bread, no starter. My dessert all ready, but I had the pan-seared beef tenderloin with roasted pepper potatoes and a garlic confit honey soy sauce, quite nice that, and some fresh fruit. I went to sleep. I didn't partake in breakfast. I had something once I got to Heathrow, so I woke up as we were heading across Wiltshire and coming in to commence our descent at London Heathrow. It's a great flight overall, not a huge opportunity to get some sleep, especially once you've eaten. But the Boston to London flight is one of the very shortest transatlantic flights, of course, that's on offer. And the weather was kind to us as we approached London Heathrow from the east, having done a nice turn over London, although sadly I was on the wrong side of the aircraft. You can't always get these things right. But here we are coming in over Hounslow and the British Airways maintenance area. And as we turn off runway 27 left at London Heathrow, that just about wraps it up for this video. A short flight across the Atlantic. I hope you've enjoyed it on the British Airways Airbus A380, the Club World cabin on the upper deck.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and click the notification button so you don't miss any of the great trips Mark has coming your way on this YouTube channel.